Hi and good evening. My name is Muhammad Zulkarnain bin Muhammad Zaini. My mentor number is 196538. So today I would like to present my literature study in LAN 3009, and the terminologies that I've taken is Biotope. So before that, let me share my screen. Okay, what is Biotope? Biotope is a combination of words from Germans and Greeks, and bios standing for the life, while topos meaning place. Biotope is a living place for a specific assemblage of animals and plants that supports the organisms that live there. From the right sketch, we can see three biological communities such as aquatic life, human and plants that always connected to the surrounding life. So this process will affect the life to the place. For an example, to easier way to realize the meaning of biotope, if we have a small garden or backyard in our house, we wanted to plant any plant such as orchid or rose. If the plant succeed or if the plant can improve our moods, can affect our life. So that is an example of the biotope. So the concept of the biotope was to highlight the importance of the ecology and habitat that affected to the surrounding life. So why biotope is important in our study and also our nature? Biotope is an approach to preserve ecosystem and biological diversity. Then, biotope also are famously used in developing countries as a sustainable way to improve urban environment. For an example, like our site, Sri Sedang, based on the result days by days, the numbers of population or migration is increasingly. So what we scare is in the future, for example, 2035, how the number of the population and migration can affect to the surrounding life, especially to the environment. Of course, it can causing to an environmental issue. So from now, that is why many of the country concerned about this concept as a way to mitigate the environmental issue while to improve urban environment. So we go to the sketch on the bottom. We can see the people related or connected to the life, to the nature. So biotope try to bring life and integrate nature into the city, and also emphasize recreation and open many green space. So in design, we have to install or add more activities so people can come and engage their life to the nature. We move to the precedent study. These are my precedent study in Singapore and also Malaysia. Okay, let me start in Malaysia first. My first precedent study is Putrajaya Boulevard in Putrajaya, Malaysia. This is a project for local authority, administrative officers in Putrajaya, designed by Simon Gibbons, 2.56 kilometer. that surround this area. It was completed in 1997. Okay, I take Putrajaya Boulevard as an example because the traction or the introduction of the planner to the city, which is they introduce intelligent garden city in that area. Why? We can see this area of Trajaya is environmentally friendly and have many open space there. If we go in weekend or weekday, many of people would like to assemble and go up to Putrajaya because one of the reason is the uh, green space succeed to attract the human to come there. So Putrajaya, this precedent study show a result of biotope that can affected between the biological community. Okay, next, Garden by the Bay, Singapore. Garden by the Bay is a project that try to bring city in the garden. The location of the Garden by the Bay is downtown Core and Kallang, Singapore. It was opened in 2012. How the planner tried to bring city in the garden. From the pictures, vertical and central garden, the things that I attracted is how the designer or landscape architect propose or introduce the ways to plant the aquatic, to plant the biological community or to plant the selective plants. The vertical garden, the reason why the landscape architect plants in this way because to save the space. And in the central garden, how the lakes are fully filled with the aquatic life, shrub, and also the building as a backdrop. Even the building also try to install a green area inside them, such as a green wall and green roof. So the purpose of this project is to maximize flora in the city and also helping the surrounding to reduce environmental effect and conserve the ecology and open space. So for the summary, the solution of the planting design in both areas suggests the best ways to implement this technology in real site, especially the vertical garden. If in our site have the limited space or small space, we can introduce vertical garden to serve this issue. And due to the same climate, both precedent study or both area will help the study to select the plant species. Next, the conclusion. Okay, we back in Sri Sedang, our site. The famous issue in Sri Sedang is the flooding issue. If you wonder why Sri Sedang always get hit by flood, even there are many trees be planted in that area. The reason because a lack of a deep understanding about nature in our life. For example, let's say the problem is caused by drainage system. Okay, why Kuyu River in Sri Sedang is not used to mitigate this issue? So, to emphasize or to bring this concept, which is biotope in our city, it could help to mitigate flooding issue in our site. From the right sketch, we can conclude how nature can serve the flooding issue. On the top side, without biotope, the surface runoff in the city without plant is increased more than the surface runoff if we implement the biotope or we bring nature in our city. So how we or I were to introduce this biotope in the city is by propose the various of the planting styles, such as my president study a vertical garden that can serve the problem of the space, such as limited space. Okay, this is 5 places that I should highlight to get start of this concept. First is home. As I say, biotope can be implemented everywhere as long as you can create connection to the habitat or species. Is cool. The second one is cool. We try to plant more trees and try to create a small pond that have fish and also aquatic life to improve the quality of life in the school. The third one is the existing green space. We should improve existing green space such as Taman Sri Sedang. The improvement maybe we try to plant more trees and can attract people to come. The fourth one is building. We can propose green planting such as green wall and green roof to our commercial, residential and industrial area. And the fifth one is the street at the we call as street planting. We try to immerse the trees in the street, not just to enhance the beauty, but try to combat the issue that maybe happen in future. So this concept is really important in the city to mitigate environmental issue and also to confront the migration issue in the future. Because in these days, humans are more attracted and try to love nature and engage with the nature. So we should try to think how we can bring nature in the city and how we can bring human in the city. That's all for me. That's all from me. Thank you.